San Diego emergency. What's the San Diego emergency?
My mommy and Daddy are having a fight.
Is he hitting her?
What? I'm talking to the police, Mommy. Stop it! Mommy! Stop it! Don't take the baby! Don't think you're gonna hurt the baby! Stop it! Could you just send the police, please?
Okay, we're going to be there. Who's taking your baby?
Stop it!
Domestic violence is a willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and/or other abusive behavior as part of a systematic pattern of power and control perpetrated by one intimate partner against the other. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, psychological violence, and emotional abuse.
The man who I loved more than anybody on earth held a gun to my head and threatened to kill me more times than I can even remember.
I realise now that just because he wasn't physically violent, that the emotional and mental abuse that I was suffering was equally as damaging, and I knew for myself and my children I had to get us out of it.
Why does she stay? Why would anyone stay with a man who beats her?
So spiritual abuse is using someone's spiritual beliefs to suggest that if they leave the relationship, for example, that they might go to hell, or that they'd be violating their own spiritual beliefs. Financial abuse is having full control of all of the money. Relationship when you don't have any money is a very difficult thing to do. So there can be all kinds of reasons. Perhaps that partner has threatened to take away the children and has in fact engaged in sexual exploitation or some other form of exploitation to get what they want from their partner and to get custody. So when people stay for lots of reasons.
2009, the well-known music artist Chris Brown bit and punched his then-girlfriend Rihanna, sending her to the hospital. In the days that followed, a picture of her bruised and battered face ran in worldwide newspapers and magazines. After Rihanna dropped out of sight, She's Not has came forward to tell what happened that night, which Brown was not happy with. While in an interview, Brown remarked, "While I respect Rihanna's right to discuss the specific events of February 8th, I maintain my position that all of the details should remain a private matter between us." He said, This is a typical statement of an abuser to say, and many other like-minded people believe the same.
Not a psychiatrist, a social worker, or an expert in domestic violence. I'm just one woman with a story to tell.
Victim's advocate.
A lot of times people want to look at the victim as, well, you were stupid to stay in a relationship, or I would have left, I would have never put up with that. But it's not that easy.
She says she stayed in her abusive relationship because she thought she was helping her kids, but after a while, she changed her mind.
It just took one moment for me to just, look up into her eyes when she was, trying to console me and wiping the blood and tears for me. I said, wow. I said, this cycle stops now.
For every one incident, there are literally thousands of people who are trapped, who are trying to get out.
Carmen Petrie at Sojourner Family Peace Center says her organization can work with both victims and with friends and relatives of victims who know that abuse is taking place.
As a community, we should keep talking about the issue because we are the people who open the doors for survivors when they decide it's time to walk through them.
And I married him. The bruises on my neck had just faded, And then he beat me twice more on our honeymoon. And for the rest of our marriage, he proceeded to attack me, you know, every few days, every few weeks. And it was something that nothing in my life could have prepared me for. I think it's one of the things that's so complicated about domestic violence that people don't understand is that for so long the love is so good. And it's what makes it feel so crazy when the violence starts.
Self-esteem was at rock bottom. He was very derogatory about me as a person, about my looks, my clothes, my everything. He was just very unpleasant most of the time. I always ended up saying sorry, even though I hadn't done anything, just to keep the peace.
When I tried to get out of the relationship, he held a knife to my stomach on one occasion, and another occasion he smashed my head into the wall, made out it was an accident.
Women can go to the police for help with domestic violence, but they can also go to other people that they trust. They can approach health service staff, they could talk to someone in the A&E department, they could talk to a GP, a midwife. Everyone these days is much more aware of what needs to be done and can advise on where to go for help.
As a woman on your own, going to the police, going to court, it can be very traumatic, but with the Worth Project, I wasn't alone. I was able to do it.
2 or 3 weeks after seeing the solicitor, that was it.